All right, let's continue our discussion of parentheses. Previously, we talked about distributive rule that technically says the following. So if I have three number, A, B, and C, a three real number, A times B plus C is A times B plus 8 times C. And we look at the examples of this rule, okay? And also I want to say right now that if you have A, B minus C, we put minus. We keep that minus. All right, so whatever's here is here, and whatever's here is here. All right, so, and we had an example previously. We said 4 times 5 minus 3, and we said the way if you use this rule, we multiply 4 by 5 and then minus 4 times 3, right? And we got 8. But now the next question, what if I put a minus right here? I want to do this. Obviously, the answer is, well, previous result was giving me 8. If I put minus in front of it, it's going to be minus 8. So probably, well, I mean, there are two ways to think about it. One way is to assume that we have minus 4, which we multiply by 5 minus 3, and deal with multiplication of negative numbers. The other way to look at it is simply, for a while, for a little bit, ignore that minus and says, well, what we do, we calculate 4 times 5 minus 3 first, and then we put minus in front of it, okay? And if you do this, again, we will get minus, big parentheses, 4 times 5 minus 4 times 3. So first thing first, we deal with this, and that gives us this. And now what we want to do is to add that minus that sits in front of it, okay? This guy. And now we need to remember how we deal with minus. If you have minus in front of parentheses, whatever within the parentheses changes sign. So whatever had plus, going to have minus after this. Whatever had minus, going to have plus. So if you look here, we see here we have plus. If there's nothing, it's plus. So plus becomes minus. So we got minus 4 times 5. But then here we have minus. And that minus should become, well, minus and minus together, multiply them, you get plus. So that minus and minus should give us plus 4 times 3. Okay? Now again, if you do the math, you get minus 20 plus 12, you get minus 8. And that's what we wanted to get. Okay? So now, similar thing is going to go with our equations. So if we have just simple formula with the x, let's say I have minus 5 times, I don't know, 2x minus 3. What do? Well, first I forget about this minus. I'm going to say, well, what I wrote here is just minus. I'll take it out for now. And all I'm going to do is concentrate what's sitting after the minus. And then I deal with the minus. So minus stays. And what we have inside is really by distributive rule. We do 5 multiplied by 2x, which gives me 5 times 2x. Then you have a minus sign sitting here. So we put minus. And then we have 5 times 3. And that's what we put here. Okay. All right. Let's simplify what we have. We have 5 times, again, minus, parenthesis. What we have there, it's 5 times 2, it's 10x. And minus 5 times 3, which is 15. All right. And the last step we need to do, we need to get rid of this parenthesis and bring that minus in. So what do? We had 10x if we first. Now there's nothing here, which means it's plus. And now we have minus. So we get minus 10x. Next, we have minus 15. But there's a minus sitting in front of all of it. So we have minus 15 here. But there's another minus sitting here. Minus and minus give us plus. So we get plus 15. So that's it. We can write it like this. If you don't like this negativity in front, you can change the order of the terms and get 15 minus 10x, if you so desire. All right? All right, that's the basic idea. Now let's go to an example. Example we're going to consider is 4 times 3x plus 2 minus 7x minus 2 equals 2x minus 3. So how are we going to deal with this? Again, we have to open the parentheses. So the first parenthesis, using distributive rule, we multiply 4 by 3x. Then we have plus sign, and then we take 4 times 2, right? So we get 4 times 3x plus sign times plus 4 times 2, okay? Now, what we're going to do is the next one is, again, first we forget about this minus. There's minus sitting right here. Let's forget about it for a second. What we're going to do instead, we're going to put like big fat parentheses here. Means let's concentrate on what's inside. And for a second, don't worry about that minus. So we put minus here, and then we put that parenthesis. And what's in parentheses? 7 times x minus 2. Okay, what do we do in this case? We take 7 multiplied by x. Then there's minus, and then 7 times 2. And get 7 times x minus 7 times 2. Close the parentheses. And it equals to what? 2x minus 3, which is what? 2 times x minus 2 times 3. All right. Now, let's simplify this equation. First of all, 4 times 3x is, 4 times 3 is 12. You get 12x. Plus 4 times 2 is 8. Now, what we're going to do, well, actually, let's not do it yet. Keep the parentheses. We get 7x minus 7 times 2 means 14 equals 2x minus 6. Okay? All right. And now we're going to open the parentheses. So we got 12x plus 8. It stays. And now what we're going to do, we're going to change the sign for every term inside of the parentheses. So we had plus 7x. We're going to have minus 7x. We had minus 14. It's going to be plus 14. Okay? Equals 2x minus 6. All right. Now let's first simplify this thing. We see 12x and minus 7x. 12 minus 7 is 5. So we have 5x left. Now the next thing we'll look is this 8 and this 14. 8 plus 14 is 22. Plus 22. And that's going to be equal to x minus 6. Right? Or now we got something we previously had. And what we need to do now is bring all x's on one side, all numbers on the other side. So it seems to be easier to bring x's to the left and numbers to the right. So what do we get in this case? We get, we want to get rid of 2x on the right. So we subtract it. We have to subtract, do the same thing on the left. And that gives us 5x minus 2x plus 22 equals 2x minus 2x minus 6. 5x minus 2x is 3x plus 22. And we have 6 minus 6 on the other side. All right. Well, now what we have to do is to get rid of that 22 on the left, and to get rid of 22, we need to subtract it. But again, we're subtracting it from both sides. Now we get ourselves 3x plus 22 minus 22 equals minus 6 minus 22. Now, in the left-hand side, I just have 3x. On the right-hand side, I have minus x, minus 6, minus 22, which is minus 28. And the last step is to divide everything by 3. Since we want to have 1x and we have 3 times more. So what are we going to get? We're going to have x. And here we have 28 thirds minus 28 thirds. And we can leave it like this. If you feel like you want to do something about it, you will see that this is minus 9 and 1/3. Okay? So that's it for now. See you later. Bye-bye.